Get started here in 30 seconds. Give me a second. Let me just go live here on YouTube. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Listen, I am I'm having a really good July. It's awesome. Get started here in 30 seconds. Give me a second. Boom. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's all right. Let us get over here. We'll do this bad boy. Bam. All right, let me move this over and we are golden. All righty. I should be good to go. Yes, we are. Let me start this. And all right, cool. Let's get started. What to do with my stop loss when you hold trades for multiple days? So yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about that. Like for me, I'll tell you this. Give me a second here. All right, cool. We'll do that. And boom. All right, we're golden. All right, sorry. What I do with my stop loss is it's at break even. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. You know, if I'm going into the weekend, I'll tell you that I'm not going to take the trade unless I'm in decent profits and I can protect myself. If I am in the trade and let's say like Friday's coming to close of we're coming into the close of New York session on Friday. Yeah, I'll just close out. I'll close out if I'm like 10, 15 pips in profit and it's a volatile pair like say like GN. I'll just close out and find a re-entry next week. If if it's if I'm in profit like I was like say on EN this on Friday, I was in profit EN by like I think it was like 45 pips. Yeah, break even and let it ride. We'll catch a different entry, coming into the following week to see if we can get back in. But that's ultimately how I kind of play it off. Alrighty. What's up, Cobra? How's everything? All right, man. So let's do this. Let's dive in, and you guys know how I run it. Yeah, I will tell you this. I am exhausted. So today was today was a long day for me. Both not so much the trading side, but like personal life stuff. Just running around. Gym kicked my butt today. Rain out there is pouring, so pressure's down, and I just want to take a nap. But we'll get through it. Cool, awesome, man. And we'll go through. We'll kind of break down what I'm looking at, and if you guys have questions, man, we'll go through it. Alrighty. Let's start. We're just gonna run the gamut, right? Go down the list. I am 1 to 50. You couldn't find it, really? Yeah. We'll get into it. So I didn't get into. You talking about the entry from yesterday or the entry from Friday? We'll do it. No worries, man. We'll look at it. Chef JPY. So let me see what color is blue. Yeah, blue's good. All right. So Chef JPY, I'm still holding that position from down here, and you can kind of see what is going on, right? JPY crosses are a little bit mixed, right? Because we've seen some that have broken intraday structure. We've seen some that have respected intraday structure. So what I'm ideally looking for at this point in the game on Chef JPY is, if we go over here to the 1 hour, I want to see this, right? I either want us to, we have 1, 2, 3 drives. I either want to create a spring, and I do have this area over here that I'm looking at. I'll break it down for you. Or the other end of it is I just want us to get a sign of strength, right? And then come back to either play out of this accumulation, or if this turns into a reaccumulation, this would be the slingshot. So at this point, I'm only looking for buys simply because this distribution hasn't done anything. It's broken lower time frame structure. That's all it's done. So it is still, for me, buys are still in. And where I'm looking, if we go down, so there's that entry that I'm still holding from down there, but you can see it is ideally the 25-minute candle is what I'm looking at right here. This should just scream at you reaccumulation, just like this one is here, right? We know this is demand. We know this is demand. We know this is demand. So, but this is the area I really want to focus in on. And it's the 25 minute, it's the 20 minute, right? It's the same candle. And then also coming down, it's also the 11 minute. So really clean reaccumulation. This is what I ultimately want to play out of if we get the spring. If we don't get the spring, no worries. So I'm just going to stay in limbo with Chef JPY. We're going to, ultimately I'm going to let it do its thing. And once I get confirmation that it's ready for me to jump into, we're going to do it. So, that's kind of what I've got on my plate for Chef JPY. And, it's sad because the last, the last month and a half, there's just been nothing for me to play. Right. We haven't broken structure yet. Right. Because if this is lower time frame structure break, then this is the leg. Right. And then what do we do? Then we did this, and now we've made this low. So this is what's maintaining lower time frame here. So that's why I want to see this happen, and then I'll play, because at that point, intraday, lower time frame, higher time frame would be all bullish, right? Or I want us to get a spring, and if we got a spring, right, I would take that entry out of this intraday structure point, and then if this is the high that printed, then when we get that lower time frame BOS, I would then come back for the mitigation to play it up. So yeah, 25 and 20 minute. Yep, 25 and 20 minute. That's what it was. Yeah. I know it's kind of hard to see in there, but yeah, 25 and 20 minute is where I'm looking. Cool. All right. Bear with me. Let me set this AC down too, because it's a little warm in here. All right. So Chef JPY is that Euro odd. So, I talked about Euro odd. I'm still holding. I am still holding this position here, down here off of the, and I talked about it last week, it was out of that 1 minute candle, that reaccumulation, really nice entry. This was at a 1 to 91, right? I've taken 3 partials. I'm only holding 1 order left on it. And then we can kind of see what happened. We talked about it last week. I did that video on it, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we had an accumulation that pushed in, broke the high. This is the slingshot that did it. And what I wanted to see was an entry out of here, and it just was a shame that where that entry came into was changeover, right? And there was no way for me to get this entry. So I was looking out of there. I was really upset. I was also looking to hedge this sell, right? I am no longer interested whatsoever in this sell. This distribution did absolutely nothing. All it did was force into an area of demand. So I am bullish multiple time frames. So I'm going to continue to look for the buys, and we'll see. There's really nothing clean yet for me to look at, for me to even potentially take an entry. This is all just order flow. Not interested one bit trying to play order flow. All right. I am holding positions out of here. There's 2 orders I'm holding out of here, and of course I'm holding that larger order down there. So, from those positions, the ones that I did the video on, I'm sitting, what are we sitting at right now? Sitting at about 250 pips in profit on it. Okay. And then from the bigger one, it's up around like 400. So I'm not worried about it. Orders are at break even. I've taken my partials, and now obviously what I want to do is I want to make a new high. So we make a new high, and then I'll start to revisit EA. But I'm still planning on holding what I have, and I want to take this higher. Now EN was actually something very phenomenal, right? So we'll talk about EN here. I was looking, and I'm still holding. I talked about it last week. This buy position I'm still holding. Right. I know a couple people still holding it as well. And let's see what you got, bro. Took the low risk on Friday, but got stopped at break even. What? Really? How'd you get stopped out, bro? No, you didn't. Wait a minute. Where'd you get stopped out? On EU. All right, we'll talk about EU, because I think EU's back on my table, bro. EU is back on the table for me, and we'll go into it, bro. Yeah, we'll go into it. Hold on. Are all your partials taken on those, and you're just waiting for a distro to close manually? On which one, Cole? On EN? Or on EN? No. No. So I have 1 order remaining, and I'm looking for more buys. So yeah, no, I've partialed out the 3 orders I'm going to partial out, and now I'm going to let those go. I'm not going to close it. GJ and EU, yeah, we'll look at GJ and EU. So what practice is better for identifying what practice is better? Um, man, so I'll tell you this, like the best thing you can do is go and what time frame do you consider when you say um what time frame? Yeah, the number doesn't matter to me. This number right here, this right up here, that means nothing to me. It's where we are. So yeah, like intraday, pop up to higher time frame hours and you'll be able to see the intraday, so for me, we can see that we had this high and this is the next high. So this is their intraday structure right here. And then from a lower time frame perspective, we could see that this was a high, this was the next high. So that's lower time frame. So we broke lower time frame bearish here, and then we made it bullish again. So now, ideally this is maintaining right there, is maintaining lower time frame. This is maintaining intraday. And then higher time frame, I'll have to look at the higher time frame, but yeah, that's kind of, yeah. Yep. Your open orders, if your stop loss set at break even, do you move it up in no, I don't. I take partials. Yeah, there's two school of thoughts, right? You can either move your stop loss up or take partials. Me, I take partials. I don't do both. So yeah. You didn't get into EN? Oh, bro, it was clean. It was clean. Well, now you know why I'm happy today. All right, so in a nutshell, I didn't get in yesterday. Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's look at it, right? So ideally what we were looking at was really clean, and this is where we got in on EA as well, in this same area, right? Yeah, no, listen, there's plenty of trades, man. If you're not feeling it, don't force it. You know me, I hate to trade Mondays, but it just so happened that the alert went off on Monday and I was like, well, why not? So you could see order flow changing, right? And we had this high market cycle, right? Just follow your market cycle. You had accumulation, you had a reaccumulation, then you had a distribution, right? So out of the distribution, you have a redistro, and what do you think is going to happen next? You're looking for an accumulation. So where I was looking for an accumulation was obviously this is area of demand, right? This is the continuation move that causes this high, and in here is the leg, right? So I was looking at either of these two areas for accumulation. And on Friday, right? On Friday, what we actually ended up getting was, so you can kind of see area of supply. This is all just failed accumulation, right? Then we come in here and, notice the yellow, right? Don't, Asian session, nothing ever holds, right? So we had an accumulation, there's your ice, and we failed. So what I attempted to do was I'm like, okay, now what I'm looking at is, and we'll go lower time frame. Let's go to 1 minute. Here's that schematic, right? Very clean schematic. A couple things I was looking at, right? We took the Asian lows and then, all day long, super clean, right? Climax, secondary test, up thrust action. We come in, secondary test, give a spring, right? Sweeps all of this during New York session. Okay. So ideally what I wanted to see was if this is my low, this is my previous low. So this is the break of structure that I needed. So I set the alert, waited for it. As soon as we got that, then I started to look at, well, where do I want to play out of? A couple of things went into this, right? There was a bunch of check boxes, divergence up the wazoo, right? So you can see lower low, you can see higher high here on the oscillator for the RSI. But more importantly, I love to compare it with EA, right? So EA and EN, tons of divergence in our area. So where I was looking, hold on, where the heck was it? There it is right there, bam. So EA, here's your divergence between EA and EN, right? So let me just line it up. There we go, perfect. Hold on. There we go. All right, so we're lined up. So you can see EA made the higher high where EN made the lower low. I like to trade the laggard because the laggard's going to give me the schematic. So this is showing that EA is the leader. It's showing strength, giving us that divergence. So, I had divergence playing out. I had that we were in the really good, structural zone that I wanted to see, and then ultimately I just needed to wait for confirmation. So what I ended up doing was, where was I going to structure my play out of? So we can clearly see that this spring gets mitigated by this reaccumulation, right? So I measured from a leg perspective, you can see that we get this push, we get this pullback, and then we get the next leg, right? So this is what's maintaining, right? That's why I needed this to be broken. So when I measured this to this, you could see this is 50% and this is 80%, right? So immediately I'm looking at 80% of the leg, right? Looking at 80% of the leg. And then what I was looking at, well, I measured our spring, right? I measured the spring. So I measured the candle that did this. And what I found was here's 80%, here's 50%. And I was like, so 80% of the leg is 50% of the spring, right? And then I went into, well, we have our slingshot, we have our reaccumulation. You could see what I did was this was the 5-minute candle. So 5-minute candle, 50% is here, 80%. So 80% of the leg, 50% of the spring is also equal to 50% of the 80% of the SC. So I wasn't going to be greedy. So I took an entry off the 50 and I definitely took it off the 80. So I got popped in right here. And you can see this reaction that we got. I reduced my risk to the bottom of the wick, nearly survived that by like 3 pipettes. And then, of course, when we make this high, now I reduce my risk to the bottom of this wick, right? So I was still at risk. What I wanted to do was I wanted to see us, I wanted to, I don't care about that right now. There we go. I wanted to see us get and make a new high. And eventually what we did was we made that new high. So boom, we made that new high right here. This is where we closed. At this point, I was fine with how the market reacted. And what I was looking at was, okay, so now we know that this is essentially the manipulation that I need to get mitigated. And when I found the candle that I wanted to play out of here, you can see this is 50 and this is 80% of that candle. So I was looking for the market to come back. I had an entry sitting right here. We had plenty of divergence on the seconds time frame. This was a micro schematic, and I had a stop loss down here. So the one thing I had to do was I had to account for the risk because this order was not at break even. This order was at break even. So where I split the risk, I knew that if I risked $125 in this, about 50% of it was still at risk, meaning essentially $62 and change is what I can risk on this. All right. So trade management was huge. And you can see, so yesterday, what I ended up doing was, and this was the confirmation that I needed, right? So I had the order set and this was my first partial out area. 1.6900 is where I partialed out. Okay. Both orders, one was at a 1 to 19, the other was at a 1 to 9. Well, now at this point, I can put full risk on here because I've taken partials, right? Even though these are still at risk, I can use my profits and actually take that entry. More importantly, what did we just do here? We invalidated supply, right? We invalidated supply. So by invalidating supply, this now shows me what? Bullish intent, okay? So I had this order set right here. It was a 4.2 pip stop. This one here was a 2.9, and this was a 5.5. So yesterday morning during New York session, we get ultimately this, right? Again, why did I want to play? Why was I doing this? Well, we had a reason, right? London low, we had equal lows here in liquidity. If the market needed to come back and fill some more orders or mitigate out of this, that's the reason, right? That was the reason. So, gently I placed the order and I liked the compression, right? I liked how we walked into it. I liked how this was orderly. We just started walking in and boom, popped it in. And what I ended up doing, reducing my risk at this point here, right? Because I was about 30 pips in profit, reduced my risk to the bottom of the wick. I did think I was going to get stopped out. And you can see right about here is where I thought I was going to get stopped out, but we didn't do it. And we actually took off from there, right? So price ends up just rallying and taking off. And of course, what's my next partial area? All right. Next partials is going to be at this high, right? That's ideally where I'm going to take it to. So, you know, I guess during London session last night or this morning, I get partialed out. So, you know, I now have a 1 to 17, a 1 to 22, and a 1 to 34 rolling on it. All right. And, you know, what's my next area that I'm looking at? Well, I know that this is an area of supply, right? Because this is a failed accumulation turned redistro. So 1.70, nice whole number is where I was looking to partial out. That's what I wanted to take. And you could see, hold on, we'll just fast forward through it. You could see that's where it partialed out. So I've taken 3 partials. At this point here, I was at a 1 to 36, 1 to 53, and 1 to 27. The next area that I want to see us get through, of course, is I want to see a new high, right? I want to see a new high. So my next play is going to be out of this reaccumulation. Why? Because this is the reaccumulation right here that causes this break. I don't care about anything here. So I've got an alert here. I'm waiting for price to come down here. I'll take an accumulation out of it. I really don't want to set a limit order on it. I want to wait because at this point now we're playing order flow, right? I do want to get an accumulation out of it. So, you know, at the highest, you know, this thing was at a 1 to 41, at a 1 to 61, and this was at a 1 to like 31. So either way, I'm pretty happy with it. Hold on, let me catch up with this chat. So you said the laggard is the one that you play because it is the one that will give, yeah. It's not the one that gives me the schematic. It's the one that gives me the type 1 schematic, you know? So like think about it, right? So in a distro, right, you have one asset that does that, and you have the other asset that does that, right? Divergence, right? Which one do you want to play? I want to play the type 1. Why? Because my journal says that I'm a badass trader on type 1s. Type 2s, not so much, right? In accumulation, you would get what? You would get one asset that does a type 2. You get the other one that does this, gives you divergence. So I want the type 1. So this is the laggard, this is the leader. This is the leader, this is the laggard. All right, that makes sense. Let's see. What made you put your stop loss below the spring because of, on EN, below the spring? Which one? Below the spring. Talking about this one here? It wasn't below the spring. Is that, if that's what you're asking? Yeah, it was off of the reaccumulation because I didn't feel that price needed to go lower. You know, we mitigated into 50% of it. So I was happy with it. Just double checking here. You will measure the full length of the UA to the spring. No. It's the leg. That was the leg. That's why I did it, Matt. So, you know, like it's not always going to be the UA, right? It's just so it's when you're looking at it like this, right? So we know that price made this push and then we made a new low. So this is what's maintaining structure, right? So it's not always going to be the UA. You know, like if we saw this, right? If that's the UA and then we did like that, right? So I would measure this, you know, or what if we don't get a UA, right? If we don't get a UA and we get like something like that, you know, what am I, and this trades up, you know, I'd measure that. So it's the leg. So think of it as a leg. Here's your leg, right? And then I measure the spring. So what's up, Ray? How you doing, man? Yeah, it was perfect order flow, man. Yeah, it was yeah, you know, it is what it is. I mean, when you get onto something like that, it is, you know, you just got to run with it. You waited for another, you waited for yeah, man. Yeah, sometimes you're not going to get a second one, you know, because what they're doing is after think about it, the accumulation is designed so they can fill orders. Once you get past the accumulation and the accumulation is complete, now what are they doing? They're mitigating orders. So sometimes you're not going to get another accumulation unless there's institutional FOMO, unless there's another institution that's like, oh, wait, you know, I see what's happening here. I want to jump in on this order. So how do you join the Discord? So if you're on YouTube, go to my links in YouTube and there's a Discord link. Just click on the Discord icon. It'll be there. Yeah. No, it was a savage entry, man. I'll tell you, like I was, and most of you guys know, I've been on EA and EN like a hawk for the last 2 months. And, I'll tell you right now, I've been, so minus this entry here that was super clean out of the extreme of the limit order off of the lower time frames, because this was at this point here, this was lower time frame, right? When we created that high, that was lower time frame extreme, and this was just a badass trade right here. But I've been waiting for EN buys since this area right here. So since back in May, I've been waiting for 2-3 months to finally catch some buys on it. And if you guys remember, go back and I was pretty bullish on it. Failed distro, failed distro, failed distro. Another failed distro. So demand is in control. Buyer momentum's there. Take the buys. All right, let me see if I can catch up. Do you manually take partials? No, I don't. Yeah, for me, I already have the partial set. So typically I have 4 orders, right? I have 4 orders depending on how I'm going to break it up. Normally it's just 25% a piece. And like I'll set this order with this TP, I'll set this order with this TP, this order with this TP, and then this one here I leave open. And then this one I'll start siphoning off as we go higher and higher and higher. So yeah, that position size calculator that we use is the way to do it. You do one order and it splits it into 4s. So do I close the whole trade? I closed the whole trade. Yeah, on that particular order. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, like yeah, I mean you guys have seen like the position size calculator that we use. Where the hell is it? Oh, is this it? Hold on. Yeah, right here. So like it'll split. Where is it? Here we go. So it'll split your order. Like you put it in and you put what your entry is, what your stop loss, and you can have 10 take profits if you want to split your order into 10. You can. And what you do is you just put your risk. So I want to risk 0.25%, 0.5%. It automatically tells you, or in my case, I just do dollar amount sometimes, $250, $500, and it'll tell you what the position size is, and then it'll break it up into 4, and then you just put your take profits here as you want. So, and then like I said, yeah, you can break up, where the heck is it? Right here. You can break up the, where is it? Where is it that, you know what? Maybe this is the old one. Oh, well, anyway, yeah, that's the one we use. Okay. Hold on. Let me catch you up here. Next level R to R. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I mean, we've definitely had some better R to Rs. Oh, what made me not put it below the spring? Yeah. So like I said, we had, so when we come into this reaccumulation, all right. So when we come into this reaccumulation, so when we come into that reaccumulation, the question is, do we engulf the spring? Yes, we do, right? We engulf it. Do we mitigate to 50% of it? Yes, we do. Could we have come into the lower end of it? We could have, but for me, this was the mitigation. This market cycle, right? We had ultimately I think it was like a 5-second accumulation in here. We had the reaccumulation, we had the distribution. And what was I looking for? I was expecting this to be a reaccumulation, and that's what it was, right? So what I don't want price to do, I don't want price to trade below here, because if we do that, we're invalidating demand, So, ultimately here's your distro, here's your creek. I want the shakeout to tap in and mitigate and then go higher. And that's kind of what we got. All right. For the recent EN entry you didn't wait for what, the one from yesterday? No. Why would I wait for a schematic? No, I'm not waiting for a schematic. The schematic's been played out. This ultimately right here, right? We've exited the trading range. Right here, here's your trading range. We've gotten that sign of strength. So now I'm just looking for an LPS entry. So that's the LPS. Yeah, I'm not waiting for a schematic here. I'm going to play it because what's going to happen? It's either going to hit my stop loss, and then what happens? This entire schematic is done. So especially taking profits the way I did, I'm happy just putting my risk on there and letting it play out. Yeah. Wait, yeah, I just realized after it was just, yeah, exactly. Do you have a special private group for you? And yeah, I do. Yep. Yeah, we have a separate Discord and we kind of do our thing. What's the link for the here? Hold on. Did someone drop the link before? Yeah, it works with MT4 and MT5. Yeah, I use a Mac, so that's what I have. You can't get MT5 or MT4 working on Mac now, so I can't tell you about MT4. MT5 works like a champ on a Mac. I mean, yeah, it does have a little bit of issues sometimes, but and here I don't know if anyone dropped this. I don't know if anyone dropped this later, but there's that. There's the calculator link, and then yeah, for MT5, you know, my suggestion is I don't know what don't use the broker link, right? You know, what I do is just go to the actual, hold on, go to the MT5 for Mac. Just go to the actual MT5 website, right? And install it for Mac. That's how I would do it. Okay. Bear with me here. Let me just mute my Ring cameras, otherwise those things are going to go off. Let's see. While waiting for buy entry on EA in, did you take any shorts? No, nope. I didn't take any. I was going to look for that EA for the EA short, actually EA or EA short. I was going to look for the EA short, but to hedge it, just so I didn't have to take more partials. But no, I didn't get the entry on EA, so it never came back to test out. Yeah. Okay. Only want it for the calculator. Yep. Yeah. The calculator's in there. Best way to get. And there you go, bro. Yeah. That's how and it runs native. At least if you have an updated Mac, right? You don't need to worry about running it in parallels or anything like that because it has Wine built into the MT5 source code. So like I just click, I have MT5 on my desktop, boom, open it up, and I run everything out of there. So no, don't throw the Mac in the trash, bro. I love my Mac. Yeah. When would the limit be invalidated on what? You talking about this limit over here? You talking about that one? Hold on. Okay, saying I get connected to. I can't get it connected. You can't get MT5 connected to your broker, really? Yeah, okay, so let me see. Hold on. So it would have been invalidated. Wait, when would it have been invalidated? I mean, so just all right. Any reason why when we had this high push in above here and we saw price coming down, any reason why you wouldn't have the limit order there? For me, no. Now, if we did react off of in here, right? If we did give a reaction off of here, or we came back down into this low. So let's just say that we did something like this, like we came into here, right? And then we made a new high, then yeah, then I'd be done with it. You know, for me, that was the mitigation, but we never got it. So, you know, I was happy with that entry right there. Yeah, but no, so like I said, I wouldn't download I wouldn't download the MT5 from your actual brokers. Like, don't go to your actual broker to do it. Go straight to the MetaTrader 5, right? And like I said, it has the new one has Wine built into it, and it's super simple. That's how I trade it. Like I don't have to run anything in it. It's all built in. Now it does have some glitches every now and then, but you know it's you work on it. I think that may be the problem, but I'll try that one. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's EA. Or I'm sorry, EN. Let's see. Have you found that wait, how have you I'm going to attempt a challenge in the coming weeks, just tossing up whether to go with so I mean, for me personally, I'll tell you this. I'm gonna stop trading my FTMO account. And yeah, I have no issues with prop trading. You know, I'm actually So I've got 2 accounts with them, and I'm just going to max out. I'm going to do my 3rd account, but I won't do it till October, just because we're getting, September. I don't like to trade much in, just because it's the end of the fiscal year. So October is where I'll do the next challenge, and I'll just be maxed out on prop trading. So I have no issues with them. Payouts are nice. No, customer service is pretty good. So that, I don't know what more to say on it, but yeah, the FTMO issue is, I'm just not. I'm losing a lot of money, and honestly, the not holding over the weekends and all that stuff, it's just more work. So, for me, time is money, and the more time and effort I have to put in to dealing with another account, it's just a pain in the butt. Uh, yeah, sounds good. Okay, cool. FTMO lets you hold on weekends. Yeah, but you only have a 1 to 30 leverage, and that's crap. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's 1 to 30 leverage. Yeah, it's kind of crap. So yeah, it is what it is. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so let's go into GA now. How much does prop trading give you? So it's 80% payout. Yeah, 80% payout. So it's actually pretty good. Update on GA. Listen, I'm still holding a position on GA. I'm not, it's this position here that I'm still holding. We are, we're making higher highs and higher lows. We have this price action here was just really horrible for me, even though it is order flow. It's not a structure point. So now obviously, like, out of this reaccumulation, I was still looking here, and I don't know yet what I want to do with GA. I'm going to kind of just let price tell me what, where to play out of. So, it is something I'm going to be looking at. Hold on. Close that out. Come on. Close out. Oh, frozen. There we go. Yeah. So, it is what it is. I'll see how it all plays out. All right, cool. Let's see. Wait, how much does prop trading get? 1 to 200. It's 1 to 200 on prop trading. Yeah. Wait, on a trade like this, is your stop loss at break even? No, it's at break even. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I'm at break even. I've taken partials. I've taken. I only have 1 order remaining. I've taken 3 partials out of it. And obviously, what I'm looking for is just a re-entry on it. So yeah, I don't move it up anymore. Yeah, it's just easier to do with that. Let's see, looking into trading capital. Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't done much like research on trading capital, so I can't tell you with less restrictions. Okay, what indicator am I using? For what? Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me what indicator. On a, let's see, did you try rock? No, I haven't done it. I haven't tried Harry's yet. I told them, especially over the summertime, I really wasn't interested in trying to do challenges. And, for me, summertime is like lay back, do some vacations, travel, stuff like that. I understand what you said about FTMO leverage. So the holdover, right? Like, if you're going to hold over the weekend and stuff like that, it's a 1 to 30 leverage, right? Where the normal challenge accounts is 1 to 100 leverage. So, and then prop trading, and I think funding talent is also 1 to 200. So I like it. I don't have to worry too much about, margining out. What would you say is the best 4th quarter? So October to December is traditionally my best trading, right? October is the new fiscal year, so money managers and traders get their brand new portfolios, and we have the holiday season, so everything, like if it's a great holiday season, what happens to U.S. equities? Skyrocketing, right? What happens to stocks? Skyrocketing, right? Earnings reports, all that stuff. So all of that has correlation to it. Oil? What does oil do during this time? Skyrockets. Why? Because everybody's traveling, right? Everyone's traveling for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for all that stuff. So yeah, October to December is always, yeah. I'll tell you right now, the best trading I ever had was in December. So Yeah, cool. All right. Let's see. Yellow box. Ah, all right. The yellow boxes on my, it's here. Hold on. It is sessions on the chart. It's just my Asian session. So you go over to indicators and it's sessions on the chart. That's all it is. It's just so I know where my Asian highs and lows are. So remember, don't drink the yellow snow. So I don't trade anything in Asian because Asian doesn't hold. All right, cool. There we go. We're golden. All right, let's move it along. So GA, like I said, GA, I'm not clear on where I want to play out of yet. Obviously this is a reaccumulation. This is where demand is. I do ultimately want to play GA, but I'm not going to, and I mean, we're talking, so this entry here is around a 480 something pips. I don't know what the R to R is on it right now. What is it? A one. So I'm at a 1 to 110 on it right now. Like I said, I've got one order remaining. I'm still looking for this to continue up. Nothing, I'll tell you right now, nothing, if you look at the 1 hour chart, right, nothing about this should be telling you weakness, right? Like there's no reason to even contemplate sells. I could care less about the sells. So, I'm going to be looking for buys. And like I said, I'm still going to see if we can get down in here. If not, obviously the most logical area is going to be out of the reaccumulation, which is down here. So that's why I got my alert sitting right around here, 86,500. But shoot, I mean, we're 200 pips from that. So, we'll see how it plays out. You got it. Cool. And then lastly, let's GU, so I'm still in this GU buy, down here off this extreme. And, obviously what I'm looking at is, potentially to hedge a sell, because this is the lower time frame structure, right? We had this low, we, ultimately distributed and pushed in a new low. So I'm looking, I had, I talked about it this morning when we were looking at, during New York session, I had the Zoom with the guys I trade with, and all day long, I was saying that this was gonna sweep Asian highs. I mean, the fact that we had this distribution in here and we left Asian highs, what happened? Accumulation, reaccumulation, bye-bye. So I am still potentially looking for a hedge, right? I will look in this area here. Now, if this alert goes off, that's it, supply's dead, right? And I'm only going to be looking at buys. So, I was looking to see, this morning I said it, I was like, well, if this distro does that, I'll be looking to play out of this 2-minute candle for a buy up. No longer am I looking at that because now we have another reaccumulation. So if we do invalidate supply, the area I'm going to be looking at is going to be right in here, because this is going to be what caused that, right? This is the last reaccumulation, and we'll see how it plays out. Now, if it doesn't, and say that we do get maybe a distro in here, what I need to see is, obviously as we, break structure there within this schematic, I'll take the entry and I'll look to see if I can work in a hedge here and try to play ping pong. I'm not a big ping pong player. I don't like to do it. But it's all going to be dependent on time, right? So, you guys know that if we start to see Asian highs here, I'll look for London to create the UTAD, break structure, and maybe take a New York entry here to play it down, right? So I'm still looking at GU sells, but it's only because I'm in the buy from down here. All right. Yeah. But FOMC is tomorrow afternoon. So I'm curious to see what happens in the morning during New York session. But yeah, absolutely. I think we are going to get some volatility. I mean, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with fundamentals. The US is definitely dealing with inflation, and the Federal Reserve, however much they're going to try to curb inflation's here to stay, and I think that eventually is going to affect the US dollar. So we'll see how it plays out, right? Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. So that's kind of what I'm holding right now. I don't have a lot of orders, but I am actually, shoot, wait a minute, I'm still holding EJ. Why is this? This is over here. So I am, oh no, not crypto. I am still holding EJ. Now, what I am looking at is, so a couple of things. We have, let's just look at from, that intraday. We're still maintaining the leg, right? So the order I have in here is still open. We did come back and we did tap into this, right? So you can see, like, when I measure this move, we did come into 50% of it. Okay. So not where I wanted it to come, a little lower. I wanted to come into this accumulation here. We didn't get it. No big deal. But what I do see is this is right here. This is what's maintaining our lower time frame, right? So this is lower time frame right here. And all we've done is just breaking some kind of order flow, right? So we had an accumulation, a reaccumulation, and you can kind of see it's not a reaccumulation yet. What am I waiting for? I got the alert, right? I want us to do that. And if we do that, then I'll look to play out of the reaccumulation to go higher. That's ultimately what I'm looking at. So I've got it boxed out. I'm really not looking for a sell out of it. I am expecting this to go higher, especially with the euro. The euro, I think, is really gaining some good strength. And, I'm looking for buys on EN. I'm looking for buys on EU, looking for buys on EJ, right? So thank you, buddy. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Just open up the wallet, man. We just keep paying for stuff. Don't worry about it. We'll deal with the check when it tries to clear the bank. So, going back to EJ, it's pretty simple. Like, I just want the high to get taken. We have a valid distribution in the making. We don't have the break of structure yet. So, ideally, if we do invalidate demand, say we do something like this, then, maybe a sell out of here to go lower, but I'm really not looking to play it, because at this point, EJ is lower time frame bearish, higher time frame and intraday bullish, and current order flow right now is bullish. So I'm going to be looking for the buys, but I need the confirmation, right? I need the confirmation. I'm also not interested in coming here and playing out of this, because this isn't a structure point, right? This is nothing. This accumulation has done absolutely nothing yet. So ideally, we get like a reaccumulation, right? And there we go. We get a reaccumulation and do that, right? Now, structure point. This is lower time frame. So now I could set a limit if I wanted to. I think this limit is just ridiculous. It's like 20 pips. But now I could see that this is my SC. This is the extreme of the leg, right? So now I can play something like that if it happens, right? But right now, this is just order flow, and I'm not looking for price to come back in here. You wouldn't look for a schematic on EJ, asking, because I wouldn't look for a schematic on EJ if we cause the reaccumulation like this. Yeah, no. I would play because this is a schematic, right? I would play the reaccumulation. So, same thing, like, if we, not that I would play it out of this, but, let's just say, what is it, like the 1 hour? Hold on. Let me see. No, like, there we go. So let's just say hypothetically that, this reaccumulation, and let's just say that this is the high, not this over here, but we break the high, right? We break this high right here. All right. Then this is the order flow that I don't want to break. So I'll take an entry. I'll set a limit. It's going to be reduced risk, but I'll set a limit here to take it higher because we're following order flow. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for a schematic there. So yeah. What's up, bro? How's it going? I'm seeing the pairs selling off. You see them all selling off? I don't know about all of them selling off. I see some of them selling off, absolutely. But yeah, for me, EJ and Chef JPY are the two I'm really looking for buys on. So the others, yeah, NJ, I'm looking for sell-offs. AJ, I'm looking for sell-offs. UJ, I'm looking for sell-offs. GJ, I'm looking for sell-offs. So yeah, yep. So yeah, so that's EJ. Like I said, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting, see what happens. A perfect example, what I'm looking at is, failed distro, ultimately, we have no sign of weakness, right? We haven't been able to take that low. So I want to see this go up. Yeah. Shift JPYs. Yep. All buys, man. Yep. Absolutely. So if the reaccumulation ends up making the high, you'll take it out of, yeah, yep. Yeah, because this is going to be from an order flow perspective. This is what, if, say we do that, this is what's maintaining our order flow, right? So yeah, and I'll just have to look to see, how we got there, like in where in here do I want to play out of? So CAJ, dude, I'm not really. So for me, CAJ is a tough one because we broke intraday by 2 pipettes, and we broke by 2 pipettes on some brokers, and we broke it on the other. So I don't know. For me, the answer is I don't know. So you know what I do with it? I don't trade it. I wait for a definitive answer. You know. So an accumulation or distro must be something like that takeout structure or supply or demand for you to, yeah, yeah. Because what do you call an accumulation that hasn't broken structure, made a new high or new low, or you know invalidated supply or demand? Accumulation that did absolutely nothing. So I'm not going to play like here. I'm not playing an accumulation out of here until we break that high up there, right? Because this has done absolutely nothing at this point. So yep. All right, so let's get into pending orders. Nothing's changed. UCAD, I still have it, right? I still have, let's see, I still have the order out of here. Actually, hold on, let me go. Do I have it boxed off? Let's see. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll talk. AJ's on there. We'll go over AJ. If USA is dealing with inflation, why is the dollar bullish? So why do you mean like on a higher time frame? You think the dollar is still bullish? I don't think on the higher time frame dollar is bullish. Well, we could look at it. I have this limit order still here, right? This is the limit order that swept all the Asian lows. This was news from from 2 weeks ago. That's still unmitigated. So I've got it out of the 15-second, but you can kind of see what we're doing here. We have an accumulation, nothing clear yet. We have 1, 2, 3 drives. So I'm not interested. I'll tell you right now, even though like this will break structure here, I'm still not going to play this until we invalidate, because all this can literally just come right in here to this redistro and do that. So until this invalidates supply or gives me a spring, I'm not going to take it. Right. So I'm watching UCAD, and we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, that's a good question. Let's look at DXY. So DXY, for me, we are still bearish. I mean, we are redistribution into this accumulation. Has any of this here invalidated the last point of supply? Have we taken out the structure point that pushed in that low? The answer is no. So for me, we're still bearish. I mean, all we're doing, let's see what the 4-hour looks like. All we're doing is tapping in. We're actually, yeah, we are still now. Granted, this is bullish lower time frame, but higher time frame, we're still bearish on the higher time frame until we break this 3-day up here. And all this was just reason to come back and mitigate. I do see this as a potential distribution. You can see I'm just waiting for us to do that. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's run down this ACAD. I'll tell you right now, ACAD. I'm not looking at anything on ACAD. I have a couple of scenario based stuff that I'll be looking at. This is all potentially a failed accumulation redistribution, but it's also a potential accumulation. So, I've got an alert up here, but we're hundreds of miles away from it. So I'm not really paying attention on ACAD yet. It all depends on what happens with NZD-CAD. So I'm not really looking at it. I'll tell you this, I will not be taking a sell out of it at this point. I'm gonna wait to see where NZD-CAD is at the time that ACAD gets there. All right. So AJ, this one's for Matt, right? Later, bro. Have a good one, man. So I was looking for AJ to reaccumulate, right? I was looking for AJ to reaccumulate, but what did I need, right? I needed the break of structure, right? You got the jump of the creek, but you need the break of structure, right? That's the two things I need for the reaccumulation. We never got it. So never got it. I didn't trade it. So because now we are, right, this is a this is an active distribution at this point, right? Because we are in an active distribution, all right, what has this accumulation done? Anything? No. Where is our lower time structure point, right? Our lower time frame structure point is sitting right here, right? So I do see this until we break and invalidate supply. No, I mean we're going to continue lower, you know. So I'm not really interested in trying to touch AJ at this point until we either now do something here or show some more signs of reaccumulation. All right. It missed your sell limit by a few pips. Okay. Yeah. Gold and silver, I'm looking for sells on gold. I'm not silver. I'm looking for, I'm not going to be trading silver, but I'm looking for it to come down. So, and we'll cover it. I got gold that I'm looking at too. Yeah. So Matt, this is, I mean, honestly, this is how I look at AJ. Like there's nothing to play out of here. Right. Oh, got a little crypto action. There's nothing to play out of there because what did this accumulation do? Nothing. Didn't invalidate any kind of supply. So, and what do we have here? We have a distro, right? So I'm potentially seeing this continuing lower. All right. So AU, I'm not looking at AU either. You know, AU and AJ, kind of the same thing. I was looking for a reaccumulation, right? But we never took a new high. And, you know, what I would be doing is looking for sells out of, you know, again, what is maintaining structure right here, right? That's maintaining structure on the lower time frame. You know, bearish on the intraday, this is that redistribution, this is supply. So I'm looking out of here or I'm looking out of here, right? That's ultimately where I'll be looking for sells. All right. You know, when I look at what happened in here, I mean, it's pretty, you know, I'll just say this. There's a reason I got my Asian session tool on, right? Because you could see that London swept the Asian high and then we melted, right? So, and you can see from a lower time frame accumulation, reaccumulation, potential reaccumulation, and then a distro in here on the second time frame that just took this down. So this area here, this right here is where my number one point of interest for a sell is, if we can get up there, right? If we can get up there. Do I trade EG? I do trade EG. I only trade EG when it's clean though. EG for me is a mess. So I took a small loss on EG this morning just because, well, you know, I knew better than to try to trade EG. It is what it is. But yeah, we'll cover EG. We'll cover EG. You took the SPX loss. So did you see the schematic going into it? Because what I did was this, you know, I had the limit order there and then I deleted the limit order because the schematic was printing up there by the 50%. So I played off, and we'll cover it. I played off. Okay. Yeah. So don't worry about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, but the schematic, there was a schematic just in the 50%, not the 80 where we were looking. So I ended up deleting the order and playing the schematic, and we just never had the BOS. So yeah, can get shots on GN. Oof, GN. Yeah, bro. GN on the 1 hour in there. 80%. All right. Yeah, we'll look at GN, but for me, GN's a mess. It's the price action is not what I want to see, but we can cover it when I get down here to GN. So that's AU, and this is what I'm talking about CAD-J, right? So CAD-J, you know, we broke this low down here. So when I look at this chart right now, who's in control? Buyers or sellers? And right now, I just see supply. Just, you know, who's cause and effect? Distro, redistro, low. Distro accumulation that fails. Distro, redistro, new low. Distro, new low. Distro, what do I think is going to happen? Potentially a new low, but I don't know for sure. You know, for me, I'm going to wait. For me, this is what I'm doing. I'm waiting to see, are we going to invalidate this, turn into a reaccumulation and take out that high, or are we going to make a new low? If we make a new low, guess what? All day long, I'm bearish. right? I'll be bearish because at that point, intraday, lower time frame bearish, I'm gonna be looking for the sell. All right. Other than that, you know, oil prices are about to drop too. Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at U.S. oil in a minute, but yeah, if oil is going to drop, so is the CAD. So is the CAD. So we'll see. I was looking for potential sell out of this. You could see clean distro. I wasn't going to take a distro out of Asian session. So that's why honestly I didn't play it. So there's for me, I wanted to see us actually take this at London, and then I would have played it. But all right, so EG. Let's take a look at EG. All right. EG. So real quick, I will tell you this. I did take a loss here on the buy, and this morning, those of you guys that were on the Zoom call with me, what did I say was probably going to happen? And this is why exactly why I said I was going to do low risk, right? So I ended up, and it was low risk. Like I really didn't put much into this. So what we ended up seeing was this, and I said all day long, this Asian low is going to get taken. This Asian low is going to get taken. But we had an accumulation, right? We had an accumulation, and then we ultimately had a reaccumulation, right? We had a reaccumulation here. So what I was playing out of was this candle right here. I was playing out of this push, and I was okay with taking a small risk out of it. All right. But at this point, I said that if this low gets taken, that I'm bearish on EG. And now I am bearish on EG. Okay. And this is why I'm bearish on EG. So when we look on EG, this is what we're seeing, right? Going from a higher time frame, I did see that we did pop into this weekly candle right here. And we did see a reaction, but that reaction has resulted in what? Absolutely nothing, right? We haven't broken any intraday. And when we look at, let me take this session off real quick. When we look at EG, right, this is how I see it. Wait, can you speak about SOS and SAO? How not to confuse them with spring and UTADs? So a sign of strength happens in an accumulation. The spring goes down, the sign of strength goes up. In a distro, the UTAD goes up, the sign of weakness goes down, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to go through gold too. So is there anybody that doesn't understand why this is my intraday structure? And just to put it in perspective, this is why I haven't traded EG. So EG from this high to this low took 106 days to go 200 pips, 209 pips. Okay. EN from yesterday to today, so in 24 hours, I caught 181 pips on EN. So that's why I haven't traded EG, because it's a mess. That high, the high that makes the new low, right? So yeah, sometimes I confuse spring with SAO or UTAD. So just remember your market cycle, right? You know, in a distribution, you're not going to have a spring. You're only going to have a UTAD, and in an accumulation, you're not going to have a sign of weakness, right? You're going to have, a spring, and then you need a sign of strength afterwards. So just remember I would say this: pay attention to the phases of the market, phase A, B, C, D, E, and going forward. So understand the phases of that schematic, and then understand the market cycle, what kind of schematic you're going to be looking for, right? So like in this aspect, right, when we make this low, right, when I make this low here, okay, and we do this to me, I'm not looking for an accumulation up here. I'm looking for a distribution. Same thing down here. I'm not looking for a distribution. I'm looking for an accumulation. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. But yeah, so everyone understands, or everyone agrees that this is what maintains the intraday, right? Because this is the low that we pushed in, right? So we're still bearish on the intraday. All this was, right, this right here for me was lower time frame structure break. That was it. So that's why, because higher time frame is bullish, intraday bearish, and at this point lower time frame was bullish. That's kind of why I gave it a little bit of risk. But for me, we're bearish at this point, and I'm seeing, I'll tell you right now, that this is not going to hold. That ain't going to hold. We're coming lower, right? When we look at what's happened, right, market cycle, right, we had a We added the redistro into an accumulation into a clean distribution that mitigates here, into what? Into a failed accumulation, which is a redistro, into a failed accumulation, which is a redistro. And all price did was tap into supply and make, obviously it's going to make a new low. So that's, I'm not looking for buys. I'm not looking for buys out of here. I had this ready to go, but only if we took this high, and we haven't taken that high. So, my anticipation is we're coming deeper into this weekly candle, right? We're coming deeper into this weekly candle. And that's how I'm going to play EG. So I do have, you can see I have, actually, hold on. I need to delete that, and I'm going to move this. Hold on. I'm going to move this up to this area here. So I'll look when this alert goes off that we come back into this area here is where I'll start looking for a continued sell. But that's about it. When you do your personal markups and watch this, how much time does it take you to go through all the pairs? Like, I don't know how long it takes to go through all of them, but I would say maybe like 5-10 minutes per pair, at the most. So yeah. 85.24, 85, since it broke the low at 85.24. Yeah, like for me, I'm still waiting for this. I need this to get broken. That gets broken, now I'll be looking at this distro up here. So yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's EG, right? I'm looking for bearishness on EG. For me, yeah, I'm looking for this to come lower. So EU, right? EU, this is what I'm looking at EU. So higher time frame, EU for me is bullish. From an intraday perspective, this is our leg, right? This is what's maintaining intraday to this. All of this ultimately is just a lot of noise, right? From an intraday perspective. Now, granted, we do have lower time frame structure breaks, right? But what are we doing here? We are seeing price starting to definitely compress. We're starting to see a slowdown. All right. Does that mean that we're going to create a new high? I don't know yet. But what I do know is that if we are going to sell off, we're going to sell off out of this area here, right? Out of this distribution. So what do I see happening? I see two scenarios playing out. I'm obviously not selling from lows. So this is a distribution that pushes in a new low, right? So this is a supply point. What I need is, there's two scenarios I want to see. I want to see either we destroy lower time frame structure, invalidate supply. Ideally, in a perfect world, if we can see this and trade above all of that, then come back down into this area, that's where I'm going to buy from. If we don't get that, and essentially what that'll be is sign of strength, LPS, right? That's what that'll be. If we don't get that, what I want to see happen is the red, right? I want to see a spring, right, to sweep liquidity, then a BOS, come back, test of the spring, and up we go. Okay, that's ideally what I'd be waiting on EU. Those are the two scenarios I want to play out. So if we do take the high, so I got the alert up here. If we do take the high, this is where I'm looking. I'm looking at this 6-minute candle. I'm looking at that 6-minute candle all day long right here, right? That's what my focus is on. And, you should be able to see that this is an accumulation, right? So really clean accumulation that happens during London session. All right, spring, this is 50% of the 20-minute candle, right? So it did come back and mitigate 50% of the 20-minute. So, at this point, like I said, I'd be looking to play off of that, but we definitely need to break this high. If we don't break that high, I'm not looking for anything out of EU at that point. Okay. So yeah, FOMC's tomorrow. That could be a reason. We could potentially see FOMC do this, the red, right? We could see that spring right here, or we could see that high get taken. And if this happens, then I'm playing out of here. If the spring happens, I need to wait for the break of structure and then play out of there, right? I do have an order sitting at this 5-minute right here, though, out of this, what is it? It's out of this area over here. Yeah, out of this reaccumulation that happens there. What's FOMC? Oh, bro. Yeah, yeah. You gotta, yeah. You gotta get up on the news. Yeah, FOMC is the second most important U.S. dollar. Actually, FOMC really does affect all currencies, because it just throws the dollar into a whack. But yeah, it's the and it's more important. What so the FOMC release is the U.S. Federal Reserve. So essentially the one of the world banks is um, releasing their output for the US dollar. So it has to do with like interest rates. It has, and it's their tone. Are they going to be hawkish or dovish? I'm eager to see what Jerome Powell says tomorrow, because I just want to know what BS he's going to come up with to try to spill, because I don't know what they're going to try to do. It's there's your guess is as good as mine. What pairs give the cleanest entries for your experience? What pairs? I wouldn't say a pair. It's, you know, CAD can give you a clean entry today. Euro USD can give you a clean entry tomorrow. So yeah, I don't have, I can't tell you the cleanest pairs. I can tell you, I will say this, that your majors have the most volume. So they tend to give you the best price action. But you could just saw Euro NZDs not doing too bad for me right now. So, uh, Powell. Yeah, bro. I can't wait. It is BS all the time. But I love how the market reacts to his nonsense. I love it. So, yeah, you can see it on Forex Factory. Yeah, yeah. Just jump up to Forex Factory and you can read about it. Like, so you'll see FOMs. So the actual statement and the fund rate isn't going to change. Like, this isn't going to change. So there's not this at 2 o'clock won't give volatility. This right here, when old Jerome starts talking, right here, you can read about it. Yeah, this right here is when this numbnuts starts talking. That's what's going to move the market, because whatever he says is interpreted by shenanigans, and that's going to move it. So it'll move indices, it'll move the dollar, it's going to move the yen, it's going to move the pound, it's going to move the euro, all that stuff. So yeah, news is just the excuse. All right, bro, have a good one, man. Sounds good. Yeah. When did old Jerome start talking? When yeah, exactly, bro. I love it too, because it's on Zooms now, so you can literally just sit there and listen to his shenanigans. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Wait, two 5-letter words that can make or break the dollar. Wait a minute. I'm curious. What is the two 5-letter words that can make or break the dollar? Let me just read this real quick. Delta or Tapper. I love it. The Delta variant. Yeah. So the Delta variant, COVID. If he starts talking about COVID, there's nothing better than when a banker starts talking to you about medical crap. And then what's the other one? It's just the virus variants could complicate U.S. recovery. There you go. There it is right there. Virus variants could complicate the U.S. recovery, and talked about taking TAP. No official announcement made on Wednesday. Wow. Yep. So we'll see. So, all right, cool. Jerome Powell, 5-letter word. I love it, bro. Yeah, he is. He's up. I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of, if you haven't been keeping up with it, there's a lot of politics right now going on, because I think he's one of them. Three of the members of the Federal Reserve are up for re-election next year. So yeah, they're going to be spilling whatever they can sell. All right. So anyway, EU, this is the scenario I'm looking to play out of, right? Very simple. I want to see, and obviously this is a long way away, like when we break this high, say we get up to like 1.860, right? My entry is going to be at 1.7798, So what I'm looking at is, 100 pip move to come back down. And then if we get the spring, I need about 100 pip move to break structure. So that's ideally what, I'm going to be looking at. All right. Pound CHF is another one I'm looking at, and it only recently just got promoted to my my primary watch list, and because I had an alert go off, so you can kind of see what's happening here, right? Pound CHF. we have broken, let's look at this, right? We have broken intraday, right? So we have broken our intraday structure. This was intraday structure. We broke it right here. And then we confirmed it by doing this, right? So what I'm looking at now is a huge redistribution, right? So essentially what we had was an accumulation attempt that ultimately failed. Here's our ICE, distro, redistro, another, technically this is another redistro, but you get the point. And what I'm looking at is you can kind of see it. I don't know if I marked it out. Hold on. Did I mark it out? Yeah, I marked it out. So you can kind of see, are we in an area of supply? Yeah. I mean, we broke, that's the distro. We came back into 80%, made a new low, right? Made a new low. I don't care about this accumulation. This accumulation is a trap, right? And what I see here is, could this be a reaccumulation? Absolutely. Can we come higher? Yes, we could, right? But this is the slingshot that breaks the new low. So what I want to do, and also this is also what lower time frame is, the structure point on lower time frame. So what I am looking at is this. I am looking, we can kind of see our, we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 drives, and I need us to break this, right? If we can do this, then I'll look to see what happened here, and I'll take a sell. All right. But I don't envision, and I'm not looking at like this crap right here. I mean, I'm going, if you go up to like the 1 hour, it's pretty simple. Could we potentially, come up a little higher? We could. The most important thing is I'm not doing anything until we break that. Right now, if we do come, and this is one thing, if we do come into this 80% right here, so if we do come in there, that's where I'm looking to sell as well. And I would look for a lower time frame distribution in here to kind of do this, right? Catch the lower time frame distro to break that, partial out, catch a re-entry off the test of the UTAD to go lower. All right. So that's kind of what I'm watching. We'll see if it plays out. Obviously there's nothing for me to do at this point. It's either we get up into this area here, look for that lower time frame distro, or get the breaker structure. So, and actually let me just set this alert here. So if I do see it later, there we go. Cool. Yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for. We have the start of a distro. It's in a supply point. I like it. So we'll just see how it plays out. Now we get to GJ, right? So GJ, same thing. Like GJ, we did break structure, right? We broke intraday structure here, right? We broke intraday structure here, and we had an accumulation. So why on earth would I want to play an accumulation that broke structure? So what I am looking at is this right now is lower time frame structure, right? I am looking to see, are we going to build a schematic? And you could start to see that it started to build a schematic in here. It's kind of fallen apart. So now what I'm going to be looking for is in here, if we're going to do that. Obviously there's no trade until I get a confirmed distribution. I'm not taking a limit order, right? I need to see a schematic. I want to get a really nice entry. And obviously I'm not looking for buys up here. So ideally, if we do break the lower time frame structure and we come back into, potentially something like this, then I would be looking for an accumulation to take this bad boy up into what is maintaining intraday structure, which is way up here. And I do have some areas that I'd be looking at. Like for me, everything's mitigated up here. This is an area I'd be looking at, and that is an area I'd be looking at. So yeah. Peep the weekly. No, yeah, I know. This played right out of the weekly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I got that. Yeah, trust me. I got that. Yep. Yeah. So I mean that's why yeah, there were some really good sells in here. One of the sells happened while I was on like a volleyball vacation, and it sucked because that was like a 1 to 280 something. But yeah. All good. So GJ, yeah, I am. I mean, all day long. Here's your distro. Here's your redistro. So this was the slingshot. If we do violate the slingshot, I'm looking in here, right? So I'm looking in this area right here. around like 153. So I'll be looking for that to take lower, and then target wise, I'm going to try to take this down, down into, come on. I want to take this down into this area right here. That's where I'm going to be targeting. So, we'll see. GJ again, very clean. Yeah, very clean, very clean. And we'll see how it is, so that's GJ. All right. So GN here, let's get to GN. I know you wanted to look at GN. So you're looking at like 97 to 80. So, all right, let's see. So from an intraday perspective, hold on. Let me just hide all the shenanigans. So from an intraday perspective, we did that. So this accumulation is what's maintaining intraday. And we have yet to make this new high. So from a lower time frame perspective, this is still maintaining lower time frame because we still have not made a new high. So if we make a new high, this is lower time frame. This slingshot, right? So I'm guessing this is where you're looking, right? Out of the slingshot. Hold on. 97 to 80, 90. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. No, I'll tell you right now, nothing for me will happen on GN until we make the new high. Like if we make the new high, hold on, let me clean up some of this mess. Let's do that. Let me take this. I don't need that line there. So until okay, perfect. We did make that new high. Awesome. So we've broken the high. So yeah, I'm looking. So I don't want to see that, and I don't want to see that. I don't need that. This was a shame that we missed that. On FXCM, it already made the high. Yeah. It did. It made the high. Yep. 83 minute, bro. Let me see what you got, bro, Henry. Let me see. 83 minute. You talking about this one right here? Yeah, that looks pretty good, bro. All right, hold on. Let me just see some. So this is the 83 minute. Oh, wait a minute. Bear with me here. So, like I said, this is the structure point, and all day long you should be able to see there's a schematic in there. But yeah, this is the first area I'd be looking at. So this is the slingshot, right? This is the reaccumulation. Let's dive into it. Hold on. Let me just see some. So right around here is like 50% of it. So let's just see. All right. All right. So all right. Let me mark this out for a second. All right. So we do that. Maintain structure. We broke it here. Did that. Let's see. Would the liquidity under this IC deter you from looking for buys from there? Would the liquidity under what liquidity? Talking about like this right here? Yeah. No. Like if I'm taking a buy out of here, yeah, no. Nope. So give me a second here. Let's look. So we have what did what? So this broke that low. We come in schematic. Does that schematic do anything? No. Schematic doesn't do anything. So then we have a distro with a creek. Does that do anything? Damn. Okay. So this reaccumulation right here and this reaccumulation are responsible for not only sending this up to break that, but breaking all of this here. So, all right. So now I want to focus in right here. So let's go and let's look here. So let's go 15 minute. All right. So I can tell you right now there's an accumulation in here. This reaccumulation, this is the Asian low. So I'm looking right here. I'm looking right there. So wait a minute. What was that? It was like 83-minute, you said, Henry, right? Hold on. I just want to see where the 80% lines up. So 80% of this bad boy. No, 80% is going to be too high, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right, so let's go 5-minute. Oh, it is in there. Okay. All right. All right. I like that. So here's the start at Asian right here. So this is essentially the Asian low right here. All right, so let's see. Check the 4-minute. Let's see. You talking about this right here? Yeah, I don't know yet. I'm gonna measure. I want to see this push in here first. So hold on. What is that? Like let's go 20. No, let's go 19. Let's go 18. 18-minute. 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 Maybe the data point is not there. All right, so I like that 18-minute. Hold on. SC was the London Open. The SC was the London Open. The SC was the London Open. Let's see. The SC of what? This right here? This is London Open. That broke the high. Yeah, no. But this Asian price action, this reaccumulation is what caused all that. So I'm looking in here. I'm looking in here. And I like that. So 13-minute, we got 50% of the 13-minute, which is, so 80% of the 83-minute and 50% of the 13-minute. What is it? The 18, 17, 12. It's almost the 12-minute open. 9. So we have imbalance. There's a reason for price to come in there, right? We got this imbalance right here. 7, 6, 5. Let's just see. Yeah, I mean, that imbalance is there. Hold on. I'm going to see something. Yeah, I mean, you get your micro schematic right there. I mean, there's your 1, 2, 3 spring. It just didn't break structure. Come back to test. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, like, I'll probably just end up waiting for a schematic in there. I'm not going to set a limit. Bam. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a schematic. But this is the area that I'd be looking, because this is, if you're talking about like this, is this the slingshot you're talking about? Yeah, but it all came out of there. You know, this was that push that, you know, ultimately caused that entire move. Not only that, but I'd like for them to come and take that, you know, especially that Asian low, because this is last night's Asian low. So I'm gonna set an alert out of that like that. Wait, see, no, it was for the previous one. Oh, not GN. Oh, okay. GJ. Well, shoot, 83 minutes still works for me, bro, on GN. Look at that. So, yeah. Yeah, 83-minute looks pretty good, bro. Oh well, yeah. So that's where I'd be looking. Like 90, so like around 97.33. And I think, what are you at? You're looking at 97.28. So yeah, relatively the same thing. I'm not gonna put a buy limit for me. I'm throwing, yeah, I'm gonna wait for a schematic. I may, depending on how we get in there, I may throw the order in, but for right now, no. Because this is that reaccumulation right in here that I'd be wanting to play out of. So, but yeah, same area. Ideally the same area. So yeah, good eye with it, man. Good eye. Cool. All right. Check GN on the interesting in the same area. Check GN on FXCM. Yeah, because that's the 5 p.m. candle, bro. That's why. Yeah, if you go, so yeah, this push right here, if you go to FXCM, you can see it comes in lower, trades lower, because it's the 5 p.m. candle. Like if we go here, and let's just go like 5 minute. So yeah, this is why I hate FXCM. This right here is the 5 p.m. candle. Guarantee you right at 5 p.m. Let's see. Yeah. So 5 minute, actually here, wait, let's go. There you go. It's the 4:59 into 5 p.m. So this is changeover. So that's why this, and I guarantee you, like if I put the volume profile, there's no orders, right? No orders. So, oh wait, no, fixed range is what I want. So if we go here, there's going to be no contracts. Yep, no contracts. So you could see all of it kind of stops like right here. All of this, no contracts, nothing there. So this doesn't happen. Yeah, that's a ghost feed. That's stupid stuff by that broker. All right. So you're actually anticipating Asian price action to be taken out? Yep, exactly. Yeah. What you got to play around with both of them. Owanda is as stupid as FXCM. You just got to kind of play. You got to play both of them. I've bounced around all three. I stick to this, or this. The only thing with forex.com is they don't provide volume, so I can't use the volume profile to see if it's BS or not. So yeah, it is what it is. So, but that's GN. That's what I'm looking at GN for. NZD CAD, I'll tell you, like I've kind of just let what the heck? Hold on. Give me a sec. Let me clean off. Wait, come on. I do not want the volume profile. Come on. There we go. NZD CAD, I'm still kind of waiting right here. Nothing's changed. This is ultimately the reaccumulation that causes the new high, and all of this is just order flow. So I still sit here with my alert, waiting for an accumulation here. Do you find Owanda to be the recommended broker to use? Yeah, so Owanda has the closest data feed to the prop trading. So that's why I use Owanda. Yeah. Yep. But you just got to be able to know when Owanda's feed is BS. Like GN. Yeah, like this 800 pip wick, BS. So it's there's no orders in there, right? All of this was just a ghost feed. So someone got a little crazy in putting data and put a little too many zeros. So yeah. So NZD CAD, same thing. Looking to play out of here. Now NJ, I will tell you this. NJ was actually a pretty cool scout that I took, and I was really pissed that I missed the sell. So, real quick, how I played this, we had Asian lows. We had the sweep of the Asian lows during New York, reaccumulation that broke the high, right? So from an order flow perspective, invalid distro, right? So what I was looking at was the 45-minute candle all day long right here, which was 80%. And it was a couple other time frames. Like there was some good imbalance on the 5 and stuff like that. Oh, hold on. There we go. Come on. There we go. So, I played it out of here. It was also like 50% of the 15-minute and whatever. This triggered for me during London session. Again, nothing lasts during Asian. So it was really unique because it did provide a really, really nice schematic on the 15-second. Like you come here to the 15-second and you'll see really, really super clean schematic on the 15-second. So I was asleep for it. I didn't know it even happened. That missed your entry on the buy. How the heck did it miss your entry? Yeah, I mean, I took it off the 80 and I mean, it was a 5 pip stop. Now, what I did want to do was I did want to hedge into a sell, right? I did want to hedge into a sell. And it just sucks so I took half my order. I closed half the order right here. It was like a 1 to 14. And then I started to look for the sell, and you can kind of see we had a distro, but it happened during Asian session, and I wasn't going to play the distro during Asian. So you can see here's your distro right here. There's the distro, and for me, it was the 5-minute candle that I would have played out of, but I didn't set the limit just because of this yellow snow, So, oh, you missed the entry. I gotcha. Took it off the 15-minute. Took it off the 15-minute. Let's see. You took it off the 15-minute. Let's see. This 15-minute right here. That 15-minute. Yeah. So, I mean, here's something you maybe want to backtest. Like, I don't know. Let's just see. Where would I have taken a sell out of here, right? So let's just go. Oh, hold on. Let's move this back over here. So where would I have taken this? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 60-minute first. So 61, 62, 63. That 62 looks pretty good. Yeah, no, 62. So let's look to see. Okay, so you can see the 50% gets tagged. So immediately I'd be looking at, if I'm going to take it, it's going to be out of the 80%. So now let's go and see if we can find confluence. So 30-minute. So we are, I guarantee you that's like 50% of the 30-minute. Let's see. Yep, 50. Okay, so we got confluence between that 62 and the 30. Let's go 15 minutes. So let's go, hold on, 16, 17, 17, 18. Ooh, that 18 looks pretty good. Is that 50% of the 18? Yes. So 50% of the 18, 50% of the 30, 80% of the 62. Now let's get in the nitty gritty. Perfectly, that 10-minute. Bam. Open to the 10. Let's walk it down. Now I need imbalance. So imbalance fill on the 9, imbalance fill on the 8, the 7, the 6. What happened on the 1 minute? Let's see. So I'll tell you, right, this is something I'd play. I do. Would this be worth it? So 6.4 pips. That's what I would play. So the question is, does it come in to this open right here? Let's see. Does it come in? No, it doesn't. So I would have missed it. I would have missed it as well. That's where I would have played, though. I would have played it. And you played it a little lower. You played off that 15-minute. So, yeah. Yeah. When looking for a volume candle on the distro, will it be up? Will it be the up candle? Will it be? Yeah, it's the buy candle. So on a distro, you want to find the buy candle. That's what needs to be mitigated. So, yeah, that's what needs to be mitigated. Yeah, cool. So anyway, NJ, I mean, I'm expecting this at this point to take this low, you know. So, you know, this is what's maintaining lower time frame right now, right? I mean, no questions asked. Supplies in control. So we've, you know, ideally, what I'm going to be looking for is continuation sells, right? I'm going to be looking for, you know, ultimately what I ideally want to see is I want to catch a distribution, you know, like in this area up here is what I'm going to be looking at. So I've got like the let's see, I've got, you know, I've got an alert sitting right around here, close to 7,700. So, you know, this area here is going to be something I'm going to be paying attention to. All right. So NJ and AJ, I'm looking for sells on it, you know, and I want the New Zealand currency to be, you know, bearish because EN, I want to take EN for 800 pips. So 800 pips on a 2.2 pip stop sounds pretty good for me, you know. UChef's another one I'm looking at, right? So, you know, what we have on UChef is this. We know that we have this accumulation. We know that we have tons of imbalance that we want to fill. We also know that, you know, obviously UChef is kind of sideways in structure. We are bullish, right? From a structure perspective, we are bullish because we've done this, right? We've broken this high here. And, you know, but from a market cycle perspective, I want to see this distribution turn into a reaccumulation. But I first want to take a buy out of here, right? And what I'm looking, look at the 12-hour candle on NY or NJ or NU. I don't know which one you're talking about. On NJ, bro? 12-hour. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's that, you know, honestly, that's why I've got the alert sitting right here. But I need us to do that during, I want to see it during like late London. That's what I'm going to be looking at. But yeah, yep, that's the full body candle, man. Good eye on it. What happened on EN? My feed is fine. Wait. I think his broke. I think he said that he hit break even, and then it took off. So yes. All right, so let's look at you, right? So higher time frame. Let's just look at it from a higher time frame. What do we see on UChef? We're seeing a distribution, right? So we do have a distribution. Okay, we have broken lower time frame structure here, but we do have a distribution. 1, 2, 3 drives pushing a low, and now what I want to see is I want to see another low, right? If I can see us, if price ends up taking and doing exactly what I see here, right? If we invalidate demand, right? Because what did this accumulation do? Anything? No. So what we had here was we had an accumulation and we had a distribution, right? Did that distribution do anything? You know, like I was looking for a buy out of here, but I needed us to make this high. So if we would have done that, I would have looked for a buy, but we didn't get it. All right. So instead, what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at supply taking shape. If supply takes over and we take this low, my first area is going to be here that I want to look at, right? Because this was the mitigation of this was the mitigation of that, and I want to go lower. If this gets invalidated all day long, I'm looking right up here. And why I'm looking right up there is it is the 91-minute candle. 80% of the 91-minute is also 80% of the 49-minute, which is also 80% of the 11-minute. And here, we'll just go to replay mode. It's also 80% of this 11-minute. Well, why is that so important to me? So this distribution swept the Asian highs. It respected that distribution. We have what? We have some equal highs sitting in here that price can come and tap into. And when we look at we go to the 5-minute, I mean, you could see the distro, really clean distro. This is what I want us to mitigate, right? I want us to mitigate that. So USD CNH, bro, I don't trade it. I've never looked at it. What is Oh, no, bro. Nope. No, I don't trade it, bro. EN doesn't really give those crazy wicks. Yeah. So, but this is where I'm going to be targeting, right? I'm going to be looking in there, and we'll see how it plays out. But nothing for me is going to happen until we invalidate this. We need to make this low. So that's kind of what I'm going to be waiting for on US dollar Swiss franc, and then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be targeting this area here, and then I'm going to be looking for a hedge buy, right? So let's just say I do get it from here, right? We're talking a 200 pip move so that I can work in a hedge. All right. So ideally, you can see the distribution, you could see the redistro here, and now it's just waiting on confirmation. Let my alert go off, and then I'll be looking for the sells when we get back in there. All right. What indicator highlights your candles for the session? Sessions on the chart. Just Google or search it in the indicators. Yeah. So that's USD Swiss franc, and then the other thing I'm watching is gold. Right. Gold is something that I'm paying attention to. We were looking at it yesterday. I'm bearish on it, right? And what I'm looking at is this. So let's see, got to run like, yep, thanks, man. Have a good one, bro. What I'm looking at is this. So reaccumulation. We invalidated demand with that, right? We invalidated demand with that. Here's our distro, right? What I'm personally, I'm going to be looking here because this is the distribution that pushed in that. I know a lot of people are probably looking at this as an accumulation, but for me, I'm not going to take a buy on something that just took demand out, right? I'm not taking a buy out of that. So, yeah, what do you mean by hedge buy? So, yeah, like here. So if, let's just say I get into a distro, right? This is my entry. Price comes down here and now gets into an accumulation, right? And boom, this is my entry on the accumulation, right? So what I'll do is at the point where I can go break even on the buy, I close out of the sell, and now I'll work the buy up, right? If I get into this and now, let me see. So now I'm in the sell and I go to get into the buy, and the buy does this, claps me out, stop loss hit. So I lost my 0.25%, but I've made it up because I'm holding the sell, and I'll continue holding the sell. So that's the hedge. So protect your loss. It's something really hard to teach. Like it's something that took me a long time to really understand and master, but yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, this accumulation for me, not something I'm looking at, and just keep in mind, like this entire thing here is just a large distribution. So where I'm going to be looking, is I'm going to be looking in here. So you can kind of see what's happened, right? Asian highs still intact, right? Asian highs taken, Asian highs taken, Asian lows still intact, Asian highs taken, Asian highs taken. So this is the area I wanted to focus on. And for me, the 121 minute is where I'm looking. This candle right here. So 80% of that's where I'm playing. And where I'm going to be looking is right in here. So hold on. This is where I'm looking right here. So we had a distro. We had another distro that traded above that, right? So we invalidated, but what I wanted to see is what caused that push. And then this, for me, is the mitigation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an order here, stop loss here. And then my second order will be where my stop loss is with a stop loss up here. So I like this push right here. And ultimately you can see the imbalance that is needs to be mitigated here. So yeah. Yep. So that's kind of how I'm going to play it, and kind of the reasoning behind that is, hold on. Yeah, again, the reasoning behind that is I want to take all these Asian highs, and there's a lot of weak sellers that are here, here, and here. So realistically, this mitigation out of supply is still responsible for this entire push, right? So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm looking for sells on gold. That's still what I'm looking at, And silver, again, same thing on silver, man. I mean, silver for me, look at the daily. Silver for me is we still need to come way back and mitigate this, right? So, I'm potentially seeing silver eventually back into like $16 to $19 range. Yeah, I know. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. What's my target on gold? So let's see. Where is it? Hold on, bear with me. There we go. So ideally, I mean, we're seeing I'm going to partial out. I'll tell you right now, I'll partial out when we take this low. But, I mean, just look up at the 4 hour. What are we doing on gold, right? We're bearish, right? I mean, even though I wanted to play out of here, what do we do? Distribute, right? That distribution did what? Invalidated demand, and we traded below it. So ideally, I want to continue this lower. This is going to be my first partial out area. My second partial out area would be here. And then I'm looking to get deeper into the weekly candle. So, ideally, like when I caught this sell up here, the sell took 70 something days to get all the way down. 61 days there. I think it was like at 70 days here, but this entire push is what we caught. I'm still going to be looking for sells on it. So that's pretty much everything I'm looking at. We'll I'm not really I know there's a lot on here that I'm looking, but I'm going to keep it nice and simple this month. Like I said, I'm up a pretty good percentage. I'm up huge on EN, and I'm just going to continue going with what I got. BTC. So for me on crypto, until BTC breaks that structure point, I am not looking. Well, I haven't margin traded BTC in a while. I'm not investing in BTC just because it's not worth the risk to reward. But the way Bitcoin goes is the way everything else goes. So until we do that, right, and break and get a sign of strength, I'm not reinvesting in anything. So, we could still potentially get a spring, absolutely, and then something like that, or, we can just have a type 2. So this is kind of how I'm looking at it. Yeah, maybe selling. What's maybe selling? BTC? Yeah, for me, like I'm still holding coins from 3,600. But we are in an area of demand, and we have respected the reaccumulation, right? Like we haven't traded below that. So, what we have here is we have that. So we have a massive distribution. And what I want to see, or what I wanted to see early on, is I wanted to see an equally massive accumulation, because if we can get a really nice accumulation in here, that could, a reaccumulation, right? Jump of the creek and a new high is a reaccumulation. So with the spring not trade below the demand, not necessarily. I mean, as long as we don't invalidate it, right? As long as we don't invalidate it. So can the spring, if I'll tell you right now, if this happens like that, yeah, we're coming lower. So that's why you can see I've got this up here. I'm more inclined to say this is going to be a type 2. We're going to get a type 2 out of it. So we'll see how it plays out. Realistically, what I'd like to see is this is a redistribution. So if we do something like that, this will be the sign of strength. And then, obviously an LPSY, an LPS entry. And, there was a clean accumulation in there. So, but yeah, I'm not, I've been buying a lot of, or investing on the exchange side, a lot of cryptos. You can kind of see just my crypto list that I've been really getting into. I'm not going to reinvest anymore until we get this, because Bitcoin goes up, everything else is going to go green. So yeah, that's my piece on it. Curious to see what it'll do at 54K. At 54K. Oh, you mean in this? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's going to be, this right here is going to be the, in my opinion, the next test. Like if we can trade above this, this is definitely going to be the next area. But what I'm going to be looking at is, we've already jumped the creek by the time we get up there. And depending on how we do it, like what I want to see is, I don't want to see this, right? What I want to see is, I want to see accumulation like we did down in here. I want to see a reaccumulation. I want to see a reaccumulation, because that's what's going to be showing me that buyers are in control. If it comes back quick, right? If we start to see this, for me, what that's telling me is, whoever pushed this is trying to get, it's the trap, right? And what we want to eventually, what we could potentially see is playing out of supply and making a new low. So we'll see how it is. I know I shared this. Oh shoot, where'd my mouse go? Hold on. Does Reapchain is yeah. I don't own any more Reapchain. I got rid of it, man. I got rid of it. Does crypto follow Wyckoff? Sometimes, yeah, man. Here you go. This is, it does. We got in a supply point, into this reaccumulation. We came back and we did what? Nice little accumulation. So this was my buy area, and yeah, and now you can see I'm already looking at this as a reaccumulation. So, and then, I know everyone, well, at least everyone I know has seen my XRP, right? Why did I start buying XRP? Because, here's your daily schematic. All right, here's your daily schematic. So I started buying when we got in here, everywhere between, I think 13 cents was the lowest I got in, somewhere down in here. And then, I got in here. So yeah, they are part of the price cycle. Yeah, it's not the end all be all. I'll tell you that. It is not the end all be all. But it gives you, from a non-margin side where you're investing on the exchange side, it gives you really good tolerance levels. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've got all kinds of things that I've been looking at on crypto. Like, when you're looking at this reaccumulation, this is my buy area. So I got triggered in here. Yeah. So it's all good. It's all good. Let's see what this bad boy is doing. Oh well, yeah. So that's about it. That's what I got for tonight. Like I said, I'm looking at some of these. I'm really happy with some of the orders that I did catch. And like I said, I'm going to finish July pretty nice. We'll see how everything else plays out. And just keep in mind this, and this is one bit of advice I'll tell you. August for me, nothing wrong with August, right? But coming into September, I'll tell you, I do not like to trade in September. It's the end of the month, right? It's also the end of the fiscal year. So a lot of traders are, working on, closing out their portfolios, working on, getting their bonuses in. So just keep that in mind. All righty. So enjoy. Thank you, everybody. I will see everybody later in the chats, and enjoy.